All right. Hello, hello, hello. Can anybody hear me? We are live. Anybody can hear me? Anybody? Just say hello to me so I know that we are live and you can hear me. Hello, hello, hello. Anybody here? All right. Let's quickly do some evangelism for people to come in. Can you all see me well? Can you hear me? How are you doing? Anybody here? Say hello to the host. Hello, hello, hello. Let me hear from you. Okay, let me tell people that we are live. All right, I have two people looking at me right now. Can you hear me? Can you say hello if you hear me good? Hello, if you hear me. Thank you for joining today's live stream. Thank you so much for joining. Just one moment. I will be back in just 1 second. One moment. All right, today we're going to have interesting moment together. Thank you for joining. Thank you for coming in. Just say hello, hello. Let us know where you're connecting from on this live show today. Let's know where are you joining from. We're going to have a very interesting moment together. And I think my guests too, are they here? Very soon I'll bring them up. Just let me quickly say shout out to everyone for joining. Thank you very much. So please make sure you share this stream. Go ahead and share it. We want to have a very nice moment here together. Everyone's opinion count. We just want to talk, And shout out to Pastor Samori, who initiated this whole entire idea that, you know what, we can talk about this election. This is happening right now. This is ongoing. This is what is trending in the US, So very soon we will start in about 2 more minutes. We will start. Let me just say welcome, everybody. Thank you so much for joining. Go ahead and share this. Let people come in. Let us have a very a good moment here together, So please go ahead and share this live stream. Go ahead and share. And can somebody just chat something? I want to make sure that the chat is set up because you are going to be reacting to what the guests are going to be talking about. You're going to be, dropping your opinion, your comments, and I want to make sure that everything is well set up. So can somebody just leave a comment to make sure that we are able to see everyone's comments, to make sure that we are able to acknowledge comment when it's time for comment. So please just go ahead and leave a comment. That's going to make me know that everything is fine. Thank you so much. Thank you for coming in. Thank you for joining. All right. Today, as you know, we're going to be talking about which way America. The election we are in the season of election. We have the Democrat, the Republican, and of course, they want to come here to show their patriots to, their alliance to whatever party they're supporting. Why are you supporting the party? What do you think about each person, about each party? So very soon, I'm going to be bringing my guest. I hope Pastor Samori, are you on the line? Let me check on him real quick to make sure so that he can enter the studio. And Pastor Fortune, let me check on them to make sure they are in. Thank you so much for joining in. Make sure you're sharing this. Let people come in. Let's talk. It's a moment to talk. Let me check on my guests to make sure they are in. Are you watching, sir? Just one moment. We are going to kick it started by 7:10. It's 7:09. By 7:10, we are going to be starting. All right. I'm happy I can see comments. Yes. Hello, dear. Yes. Okay. Shout out to you. Shout out. Yes. So I'm sure now, okay, we're going to be able to see everybody's coming. All right. By 7:10, we are going to start. Thank you for tuning in. Thank you for joining in today. Thank you so very much. So today we are going to be having two audiences. I mean, it's going to be like a live session that we're going to throw open for anyone that want to come up and say, what you believe in, what you want to say. We want to hear your opinion. We want to hear your voice, especially the men, the Victory Temple men. I want you all to come in number. This is the point where you can, talk about everything you have to talk about. And we're going to have a wonderful time. Yes, it's 7:10. Now we are going to start. All right. I'm going to bring up my guest, Pastor Samori. If you are in the house, please click on the link that I gave you to enter the studio. Pastor Samori is a guest today. He's Republican. And once he come on the hot seat, he's going to be shedding more light. Why? Oh, it's Democrat. Sorry. Yeah, Pastor Samori is Democrat. So, Pastor Samori, are you there? If you are there, click on the link and let me bring you onto the studio so we can go quickly and start. Yeah, give me one moment, guys. Let me check on my guest. All right, we are waiting for the guests to come in. Pastor Samori, okay, I see you. Mommy, Dr. Laushevekon, that's my mom. I see you. Thank you for joining. All right, so let me see. Let me see if I can drop the link for him again. Just give us one moment. It's always going to be technical things. Invite, copy. All right, let me drop the link here for you again, Pastor. I'm gonna drop it right here. I know I dropped it on your WhatsApp. So see if you can go in from here. I just dropped a link for you to come up. Pastor Fortune, are you in? Yes, Pastor Samori is in. Yes, sir. Thank you very much for joining. You are welcome to this live program. You're welcome to this live show. And actually, it is your idea. You wanted to be able to come up and talk about the things that matter, So thank you very much for bringing this idea. And I ran with a vision with you. All right. So do we have Pastor Fortune? Is Pastor Fortune in the house? So once our two guests come in, we are going to be starting with the question session, and everybody will be able to make sure, Victory Temple men, if you are watching, please put on your men forum. We want them to come in. We want this to be hot, all right. Pastor Fortune is right here. Welcome, sir. You are welcome. All right, Pastor Fortune, you're welcome. But it's kind of dark. We cannot see you. So if you can put some light in. Okay. I thought we were waiting for Pastor Fortune. Hello.
Can you hear me?
I can't hear you.
Oh.
Hello.
Can you hear me? Hi.
You may need to unmute. Are you here to support what we're going to be talking about today?
Yes. Yes.
Okay, what's going on with the volume? Okay, something is going on with this volume. I can hear nothing.
Can you hear me now?
Or...
Can you hear me?
I can't hear you, ma'am. So sorry.
So what do I need to do?
Is it just me? Can anybody hear? Anybody? Can I get a response? Can you hear Ashash? All right, just give me a moment. Let's remove. All right, Pastor Samari, we're gonna start with you. Maybe in the meanwhile, Pastor Fortune is gonna join us. So we're gonna start with you. Can you please introduce yourself and what inspired, this moment? Because I know that you came and you wanted us to have a moment. So briefly, before we go into all of these, can you tell us what inspired your moment? Let me make sure I'm able to hear what's going on. I couldn't hear the last person that was talking. But can you all hear me? Can you hear me?
We can hear you.
Okay, something is going on with my... Sorry, let me quickly see. Something is going on with my audio. I can't hear. I hope it's not on Bluetooth. All right, default. Sorry, something is going on with my microphone. I cannot hear. Oh, it's on Bluetooth. Let me remove this from... It's on somebody's Bluetooth. All right. Remove it from this Bluetooth. Just one moment, please. Sorry about this technical. Remove from Bluetooth. Whose Bluetooth is this? Oh, it's on Bluetooth. Let me remove this from... It's on somebody's Bluetooth. Pastor, are you talking? I can't hear nothing. Okay, hold on.
I'm not talking. If you can hear me now.
Sure. No, Pastor Summary. I can't hear if he's talking already.
Not yet. I was just waiting for you to get your audio right.
All right, Pastor, go ahead and... Okay, is it talking? One moment, please.
Okay. I can go ahead if you want me to. Yes, and we can hear you.
Is it your iPhone? Oh,
we are sorry for the technical glitches that we're having, but my name is Edward Summary. I'm not a politician. I am a regular American and somebody who believes in the rule of law. The election is here, and I thought being in a time like this that we should be able to have a discourse where we inform ourselves about the impact of the elect, how we believe, how I see it, how I believe it can impact our lives. Oftentimes, people stay out of voting, not knowing the impact it can have. So why did I say we should do this? I know my sister has a bigger platform, and I believe that doing this will, number one, educate people, and number two, make people realize that, okay, I need to vote, one, and this is the reason why I am voting. So that is why I thought we could come. I, as a now a registered Democrat, and having my brother, Pastor Fortune, who we always, share this time on our own private platform, but I wanted us to have a bigger platform. I mean, what's the need if it's just between us and we can't really help people, impact people's decision? So that is why I reached out to my sister and say, hey, let's do this on your platform and maybe help people to make up their mind when it comes to voting, those that have not already voted when it comes to voting on Tuesday.
All right. Thank you very much, sir, for that brief introduction of why we're doing this. And let me quickly apologize for the other time. It was on one of the children's Bluetooth. So they were like listening to me over there and I can hear nothing so I had to quickly allow them to disconnect the Bluetooth. So I apologize about that, that moment. So Pastor Fortune, are you here? If Pastor Fortune, you are here, I want you to come up to the studio. So first of all, we're going to start with you, Pastor Samori. So since you are here, you are a firm believer in Democrats, and you are Democrat to the core. So why Democrat? And very soon, I know a lot of us, we are immigrants. We will still come to all of those policies that favors immigrants. But, why Democrat, and why do you believe that is, the way for America and Americans?
Well, it will interest you to know that I have always been a Democrat or Democrat-leaning independent. Okay, so let me, because I have in the state of Maryland voted for a Republican candidate. So, but in this present dispensation, I had to go and change my party affiliation from non-affiliated to Democrat. Why? Because I wanted to be able to participate in the primaries. If you're not affiliated to a particular party, you cannot participate in the primaries. So that's number one. And number two, the toxic season we've had since 2015, 2016 is something that you can't just sit on the sidelines and be watching. This is between, now we're saying Democrat and Republican. For me, it's not just the party. To your question, why? It's not just the party now, but the candidates, the individual raising the flag for the party. You see what is going on right now, and you just cannot afford not to be a Democrat. Wow. You cannot afford not to be a Democrat. So yes, the current, beautiful, Pastor Fortune is here. The current happenings now will just tell you that, you know what, you need to be affiliated and you really need to belong somewhere. That is why I am resolutely a Democrat in this particular election.
All right. Thank you very much. And welcome, Pastor Fortune. Thank you very much for tuning in. Thank you for joining on this very hot topic today. Can we please welcome him? All right, show some love for him in the chat section. All right, you met us talking, and I want to believe, Pastor Fortune, are you Democrat or Republican?
Oh, well, I wouldn't say I'm Republican. I'm what you call a conservative.
Okay.
So that means I go beyond the Republican platform. I'm a conservative. So you could call me an ultra Republican, a hardcore Republican, so to speak. Yeah, because now we're beginning to think that the Republican Party is no better than the Democrat Party. I mean, we have people like Larry Hogan calling themselves Republicans, and we have Mitch McConnell being a Republican. Those are not Republicans. They are rhinos. So I'm not a Republican per se. I'm more of a conservative.
Okay.
I hope that's easy to understand.
All right. Anyways, so viewers, if you're here today, I want you to start, dropping your questions for them. So it's a very interactive session, and I want you to please make sure that they are talking about the things that matter, especially if you have questions regarding immigrations and stuff, because I know a lot of people say, oh, Democrats favors, immigrants, and Republican this and that. Do you want to, shed more light on that? Because a lot of people are immigrants, So, in regards to that policy, what do you think? Do you think the Democrats? Do you think Republican?
Was that for me or for Pastor Samori?
Pastor Samori, do you want to go first? You can go first, Pastor Fortune. You can go ahead.
Yeah, you can go first. I seem to be having a problem with my camera. It just went off.
Okay. First and foremost, let me say a very big thank you for having me on this edition of the what do you call this now? Is it the podcast? I'm not too.
Yes, it's right? It's a YouTube live.
Yeah, thank you very much. I truly appreciate the invitation, and Pastor Samori, thanks so much for engaging with me, because you see, well, first let me address one issue that you brought up, the issue of us being immigrants, and for the most part, a lot of us voting on the basis that we're immigrants and that the Democrat Party favors immigrants. I think that is a ruse that the Democrat Party has used on the Black community, on the immigrant community for a long time. And people don't seem to realize that it's a scam. I'll call it a scam because it's like this. If you look at the kind of immigration that the Democrat Party favors, it does not concern you and I as immigrants from Africa. They are only concerned about immigrants that run across the border. Mexicans, Brazilian, what do you call them? Hispanics who come across the border. And these are the kind of immigrants that come in and take up all the, essential jobs that people are supposed to do with, well, I'm not trying to say that Blacks do manual work, but they take up all the manual work. In those days, in my former neighborhood where I was living, Black kids used to mow my lawn. They'll come knock on my door and I'll pay them and they'll mow my lawn. But before long, you wouldn't have any Black kid mowing lawns. It's all Hispanics that come in and do all that. So the kids these days that are supposed to, learn about the dignity of labor, the value of hard work, they don't learn that anymore. That's one. Now, if you are an immigrant who came into this country to study, or you came by invitation to an event or something, like most of us Africans did, we did not run across the border. We all know that, right? Now, if you are that kind of immigrant, the Democrat Party, the Republican Party, none of them favors you. Because today and 10 years ago, if you are to apply for someone to immigrate from Africa, you are going through the same process. You jump through all the same hoops that you jump through as someone who is, bringing somebody in from overseas. Democrats don't make it easier. Republicans don't make it easier either. It is the same rules that apply. But the fact of the matter is that Democrats actually make it more difficult. Because take a look at this. It was Barack Obama that took Nigeria off the immigrant lottery system and claimed that Nigerians have exceeded our quota when there was no quota to exceed. The immigrants, the immigration visa immigration thing was done on a basis of every year they would allocate certain quotas to certain countries. And you don't exceed it. But Barack Obama came up with this excuse and said Nigeria has exceeded its quota, which was a lie. Then secondly, it was Barack Obama who also made it more difficult for other African countries to participate in the same visa lottery program. So how are they helping us? The Democrats haven't helped us. Democrats haven't reduced the time span that you have to wait if you are applying for an immigrant, if you're applying for your relatives to come over to America. They haven't reduced it. They haven't done anything about it. All they care about are the immigrants who are running across the border. And we think that favors us. No, that has nothing to do with us. In the whole immigration argument thing, we are completely left out in the cold. The only way immigration would favor you as a Nigerian or as an African immigrant is if you are going to send your relatives to Mexico and then they will now run across the border. But none of us are going to do that. We want them to come in as immigrants. So what's this immigrant argument that we are trying to use? Why are we voting on the basis of Democrats like immigrants? They don't like immigrants like us. It doesn't. The ease of immigration or illegal immigration, as I'll put it, does not apply to legal immigration, and most of us come in legally. So it is illegal immigration, people running across the border, that it favors. It doesn't favor you and I.
All right. So with this now, I hope, because a lot of I think one major reason why people are so afraid about, Donald Trump coming in is just this issue of, oh, you're not going to be able to come to America again. They're going to block, they're going to block the entrance from Nigeria. And I saw a video going around social media this other day when this Nigerian lady said, please, my people, please come out to make sure that you are protecting your brothers back home for them to be able to come in, So I just looked at this whole agenda. They are so afraid that, oh, if Donald Trump comes in. But then I'm thinking it was in some few years ago, people were still coming into America, like you said, the target was for the illegal ones, not the legal ones. So now, in the light of that, I wish Pastor Somori was in back. I want him to share, what is something that makes him to know that, okay, because sometimes when we look at our Christian virtues, we see that one way or the other, it looks like Republican held some virtues that, can protect some of the things that we as Christians believe in, while the Democrat, their own is, the other way. They have a lot of, I for one, I wouldn't say I'm Democrat or Republican, but, I just follow everything to see what's going on. And then we discovered that a lot of things that we as, African community or Christian don't really, believe in is what the Democrats love to propagate. So if Pastor Somori, are you going to come up back? I want you to talk in regards to those issues, the Democrat agenda, the things they promote, when we talk about the community they promote, why Democrat? Because of all of these things that we might think like is Antichrist, way of reasoning. So, Pastor Somori.
Well, unfortunately, he's not able to come back.
Okay.
I see.
I've been having technical issues. My system just decided to do something, but actually, I wanted to respond to what Pastor Fortune said about immigration and the fact that people are afraid that Trump is going to do something about people coming in. Listen, immigration-wise, is Trump the best for us? And when you have a candidate that says on day one, he is going to implement a mass deportation, let's roll it back and see, one, his rhetoric in the past. How did they affect us when he was president? And how can it affect us now? And then talking about Obama being the one stopping the visa lottery. Well, sir, visa lottery is something that is done by allocation. Every year, the government allocates the number of visas they will issue by categories.
Exactly.
Whether it's going to be visiting, whether it's going to be education, whether it's going to be immigration. So, and that is something that is set in the law by the Congress. And Obama cannot just unilaterally say, oh, no more visa lottery for Nigerians because they are Nigerian. Let me ask you, India is no longer on visa lottery. Was it because of Obama? Brazil is not on visa lottery. Bangladesh is not on visa lottery. Many countries who has exceeded their limit no longer participate. Has nothing to do with Obama or Democrat or actually even Republican. But here is where we are concerned about the Republican policy. Now, I want to ask you, and to the audience listening, talking about mass deportation or even stopping immigrants to come in or into the country. Number one, the country is built on immigrants. Only 0.4% is the population of Native America that are in this country right now as we speak. And they are the only people that are the aborigines and the original landowners. The rest of us are all immigrants, whether from Africa, Europe, or Asia. That is number one. I want you to hold that. Number two, talking about immigration policy or deportation or stopping people from coming in. The thing that made America to be as great as it is today is because we have a pool of brains from different countries, different background. And we, as a country, we were able to successfully turn it around to become something positive for the country. That's number two, right? Now, saying you want to stop people from coming in or deport people, you always talk about a illegal immigrant. Oh, they are this, they are that. But let me ask you, have you ever been to any hotel in the US recently where you have the housekeepers? Yes, majority of them are not legal. They don't have papers, but they are here and they still do the things that you will not do, and your sister, your brother will not do, but they are doing it. And if you want to fly or you want to book this hotel, you'll be looking for the cheapest one. Why? How do you think it's cheap? Because you have these people that are collecting the low pay wage and I'm making things to happen for us. So just castigating against immigrants and saying, oh, we can't allow them in. The Republicans, or particularly, let me not just say Republicans, but because some Republicans understand, but Trump and his MAGA people fail to understand the usefulness of these categories of immigrants in the economy. So I don't know if I'm answering your question, but you have to realize the impact of these people in the economy. And you talk of mass deportation, do the mass deportation and see how much it will tank our economy. You talk of the person cutting your grass, it's not only the person cutting your grass. You talk of the person repairing your roof, talk of the person repairing your bathroom, talk of the person, that helps with your electricity when you have issues with it. A lot of things we get done in the household today are being taken care of by these people. So you send them packing, you will tank the economy like the very next day.
Okay, can I give a rebuttal to that? Very quickly, like we do in the presidential debates, 2 minutes or so rebuttal.
I'm just here to just open the platform. It's your show. And audience, if you're hearing us, this is everybody's show. So I'm not here to kind of really moderate. It's your show.
Okay.
You want to have a question, please drop it down. You want to come on board, let me know. I'll drop the link. Come on board and say something. It's everybody's show this evening. All right, so go ahead.
Okay, thank you very much. Pastor Samori, thanks for the points that you raised. But first and foremost, there was a bit of obfuscation in the things you said, because for one, you went back to the same old tired argument that Nigeria had exceeded its quota with the immigration thing, and you brought up Bangladesh, India, and some other countries that were not in the program originally, while Nigeria had been there forever, like most other countries. America was not just issuing visas to everyone. They were issuing visas to specific countries that they felt need these visas. And Nigeria was one of those countries. And Barack Obama came and took Africa's most populous country out of the program, saying that we had exceeded our quota. And there was no set quota to the program. I repeat that. You said there was a quota. There was no set quota. The quota was done every year, and Nigeria was given 55,000 every year. When a certain year comes and a certain president comes in and then he stopped it for a reason, because he is anti-people from that country, one. Then secondly, you kept saying immigration. You failed to use one word, and that's what the media does. The media likes to confuse people, they like to, trick people into thinking that the Republican Party is anti-immigration, or Trump is anti-immigration and that sort of thing. No. Trump is anti-illegal immigration. But the media and Democrats have gotten to the point where they have dropped the word illegal. They now make it seem as if Republicans don't want immigration at all. And that is not true. We recognize the fact that this country was built by immigrants. We know this country was built by immigrants. We know that one of the strengths of America is its diversity. We all know that. So nobody can come into power in America and say, I am anti-immigration. No party, no political party in this country is anti-immigration, believe it or not. Because the Republican Party is anti-illegal immigration. An illegal immigration is the situation where you have the border wide open and people just stream in their millions the way they like. No country on earth is like that. Not even in America. So not even in Africa. See, some time ago, we had an influx of Ghanaians because our borders are porous. We had an influx of Ghanaians in Nigeria. And with like the same situation that we have here, Ghanaians took over all the menial work in Nigeria. Your shoemaker was a Ghanaian, your mechanic was a Ghanaian, your bicycle repairer was a Ghanaian. Everything was being done by Ghanaians. And Nigerians got fed up with that. Look, all the menial work, we don't have anything to do anymore. And what did Nigeria do? The Nigerian government, a third world country, implemented what they called Ghana must go, and they deported them in their millions. The economy did not tank because Nigerians stepped right in and took up those positions again. There are people who will work if there was a mass deportation event in America. There are people who will do the work. It will not affect this economy one bit. But you see, the media will try to scare you by saying that if you remove these illegal immigrants, who will do the work? Who will dress your hotel beds? Who will mow your lawn? If you remove them, for example, if you remove them, I will mow my lawn by myself to start with until I get one kid around the neighborhood who wants to mow. I have 3 sons. Now they don't mow the lawn anymore because somebody comes to mow it every week. Before I know, he would have mowed the lawn. I would want to use my lawnmower to go and mow my lawn. He would have come and mowed the lawn. Then he will text me, Mr. Fortune, I just finished your lawn. Oh yeah, send me $45. All illegal immigrants. So one, they are making us lazy because now we want cheap labor, and that is the bane. That is what is actually tanking America's economy. Because if you put it on the wider scale, the same cheap labor thing is why all American manufacturing is being done in China. So on the macro level, it is these illegal immigrants that are taking over all the small jobs that people are supposed to do. And I think it is wrong for us to go with this mindset that if we remove illegal immigrants, then hotels are going to become more expensive. No, there will be people. Don't we have, with the illegal immigrants, we still have unemployment in the country. We still have high levels of, particularly under Democrats.
May I come in, please? May I come in?
So, can we ask this question? Okay, for you, Pastor Samori. So
yes.
yes. So with the way the economy is right now, because a lot of people have, been complaining. I'm not really into politics so much, but been complaining when Biden has really messed the economy up. The economy is really slow down. So do you think if Harris, who happens to be a Democrat candidate, if she comes in, do you think she's capable enough? We know that Trump is really rugged in some ways, but do you think that, she's capable enough to start fixing this whole, Biden thing going on?
Okay, so here is it. I want our audience to also do real-time fact checking. And I want to rebuttal, before I answer your question, rebuttal on what Pastor Fortune just talked about and using Nigeria as an example. Ghana must go. I remember growing up, Ghana must go 1983 in Nigeria. But let me ask you, Pastor Fortune, what followed immediately after Ghana must go? That was when austerity measure was introduced into Nigeria, right after Shagari regime. Why? Because you jolted you disturbed the economy, you gave the economy a shock, a negative shock, and it resulted into austerity measure. Anybody who was fully grown or who was in the economy then will remember that there was the introduction of austerity measure, and then the cost of bread went high, and everything has started sliding down from that time till today. So I just want to put that to you, that you don't say that, the economy. Let me explain this. The economy, and then I will use this to transition into our moderator's question. The economy is a wheel, and that wheel is like the wheel of your car. When it is well balanced, your car will be running and there will be no bump. But if you go and take a look at the wheel of your car, you will see that at some point, additional weights are introduced into some points of the wheel to balance it. When you take your car for wheel balancing, to balance it so that it can run smoothly. Those weights are not part of the rims, but are introduced intentionally to the rim to make it balance so that the economy can run smoothly. So that is that.
The economy or the tire?
Sorry?
I thought you were talking about the tires of a car, not the economy.
Yeah. I'm using that as an analogy to say the economy is like a wheel. So we call it the economic wheel. And that at some point, there are some things you see, but you allow just so that it can run smoothly. So that is that. Now, people are saying, I always hear Republicans asking this question, oh, are you living better now than when Trump was the president? And people say, oh, I was better then. If you really understand how the delay effect of economics work, you will know that what Trump enjoyed in his first year of economy, of reign as president, was the overflow effect of what Obama did. And what you now suffered in 2022, 2023 is the real effect of Trump's policy that now began to take effect and began to come through. Because in an economy, economic is not a switch, a light bulb. You don't just press the switch and it flicks on. You pass, you have policies, you implement them, and it takes effect over time. So Biden has actually done very, very well. Do you know why? If you remember when Obama took over from George Bush, the world economy was literally tanking. The Democrat had to come in to inject billions of dollars to help the economy. And that took time. And by the time Obama was leaving, we were talking of, super economy, this, that. Trump came in, introduced his tax cut, introduced his tariff, which he does not understand how tariffs work. He thought by just saying, oh, we are introducing tariffs, it means the foreign country will be paying the tariffs. Foreign countries don't pay tariffs. It is your own people that will pay the tariff. So you introduce it, it will impact the pocket of your people, not the foreign country. But he did not understand that. And that is the same thing he is trying to say now. Oh, we will introduce tariffs, we will make them to pay. He said Mexico will pay for the wall. Did Mexico pay for the wall? And that's the same thing. Chinese will pay tariffs. And he counted the tariff thing that by the time it started kicking in, oh, we will pay up our debts. By the time he left, he added almost $8 trillion to our debt. Fact, you can check it. $8 trillion to our debt that was supposed to come, that the tariffs were supposed to pay. So Biden's economic policies has actually helped not only this country's economy, but the world over economy. Otherwise, we would have had the same thing we had when Obama was taking over presidency. So, and the fact that today, the US economy, look at it, look it up, fact, our economy is more times better than the rest of the world's economy is as a result of all these policies that Biden implemented. Had he failed to implement them, we would have been in a worse off position and situation right now as we speak. You take a vacation, go to Europe, compare our economy to that of Europe. Go online, go on Bloomberg, go anywhere, search it up, fact check me. His economy has actually helped. Now, I want to also rebuttal one thing about the border thing, that Trump is not anti-immigrant, he is anti-illegal immigrant. If true that Trump is anti-illegal immigrant, and not just that he is anti-immigrant, why did he not sign the bill that would have helped the Congress to fix illegal immigrant situation? Why did he convince the Republican in the Senate and the House to vote against that bill that was crafted by Republicans? Why? So that tells you he is actually anti-immigrant and not just anti-illegal immigrant.
Quick question. Okay, I'm not the one asking the questions. But you see, the thing is, one of my questions that comes up from your response immediately is the issue of that bill. Sir, do you know the details of the bill?
But to some extent, I can tell you, yes. I can tell you, not full detail, but to some extent, I can tell you the nuggets that are very important, that should have helped the country and should have helped the immigration.
Okay, that's what we'd want to know, sir.
Yes. And number one, so you said illegal immigrant, but our immigration policies does not say just close the border. It says if you want to come in, there is a process and you should go through the process, right? And what this process is when people are crossing into our border through the land, we want them to go through the judges to review their case. Why are you coming in? Are you coming in because you need asylum? There is an issue in your country and we should allow you in? Or do you just want to come in because you just feel you should leave your country and come here? Now, are you coming in because you have special skills that we can use, that we don't have people here enough that can take up those skills? We will look at all of these things and based on that say, okay, you can come in or you cannot come in. But to do this effectively, we need judges at the borders that when they are arrested, will listen to them. They will go through proper adjudication of the law. And if they fit in, we will let them in. If they don't, we will tell them, go back. That law would have provided for those judges, number one. That law would have provided money for more border patrol so that our border will not be porous, so that people that are jumping the fence will not be jumping the fence. That's number two. It would have provided equipment for the border patrol to work. But we killed it. And then we go back to complain that, oh, we have open borders, people are pouring into our countries. How can you can't have it both ways?
Okay.
Pastor Fortune, there is a question there for you. My question
Okay.
specifically is for Pastor Fortune. What does the Republican Party plan to do for the Black community under a Trump presidency or through Project 2025? So you have a question right there.
Okay. I will address that question and I'll come back to Pastor Somori's summary of the border bill thing that failed. Now,
No, that was
that question was, if you come again, the question said, what is the plans of the Republican Party, somehow tied up Project 2025 to it, right?
Yes, right.
Yeah.
Right. Are you able to see the question on the screen? I put the question
Yes.
right on the screen.
No, okay, let me see if I can see it. Okay, what does the Republican Party plan to do for Black community or through Project 2025?
Okay, fine. Good question. Thank you, whoever asked that question. One, Project 2025 has nothing, absolutely nothing to do with the Republican Party or with President Trump or with anybody. You see, Project 2025 was brought up by, I think it was the Heritage Foundation or something like that, an ultra-right body that brought up its own manifesto, thinking that they will be able to present it to President Trump and that the Republican Party will run with it. But the media has gone out saying that Project 2025 or whatever they call it was Trump's idea, that the Republican Party has bought into it full lock, stock, and barrel and all that. No, Trump has categorically stated that he has nothing to do with Project 2025. Is it 2025 or yeah, Project 2025? I have gone through the Project 2025. I am a hardcore Republican, and I don't agree with it. So the lie that Project 2025 is part of the Republican Party's agenda or that it's part of Trump's plans for the Black community is a lie. It's completely false. Please, if that's what you think, disabuse of your mind of that, because Project 2025, that whole write-up has nothing to do with it. It's some people with their own opinions and what they think should be, and that is not on the Republican Party platform at all. Then let's come to what Trump will do for the Black community. Trump will do for the Black community what he did for the Black community during his first presidency. Now, what did he do for the Black community? The Black community witnessed the lowest unemployment figures in the history of this country. As a matter of fact, every community in America, we had the very lowest unemployment record in America during President Trump's reign. Now, that is what Trump will do for the Black community. He will improve the lives of Black Americans. He will improve the lives of every American. We won't be in this kind of situation where everything is rising, every price are going up and everything, and then we have the same person who was rejected at the presidential primary, the Democrat presidential primaries, who has been part of the past 3.5, in fact, part of this administration, claiming that she wants to turn a new page. What new page? She is part of this administration. She is part of this problem we're having. She is part of the Biden administration. You can't separate her from the Biden administration. And another lie that Democrats have been touting is that we need more border patrol, more judges and all that to police the borders. That is not true. The Democrat Party has been actively withholding border patrols, stopping them from doing their job at the borders. We all know that. But you see, sometimes sometimes Democrats don't know because they only listen to liberal left-wing media that tells them all the time, regurgitate the same old Democrat talking points. And they don't hear the other side of the story. And the other side of the story, we have heard chiefs of border patrol complaining bitterly that they are not allowed to do their jobs. The other time, there was a picture that came out of people maltreating people, some people that were coming across the border, and it was found out that it was false. But still, the Biden administration did not stop from prosecuting the people that were involved. And another thing you want to know here is that every country on earth, every country in this world protects their borders. But in America, the Democrat Party expects the US not to protect its borders. They expect a situation where you have people streaming through the border in their millions. They expect it to remain like that. And they want to pretend that it is that bill that was killed recently, that bill is what was going to save the border. Why did that bill come up at the dying minutes of this administration? Why didn't they bring it up ever since, if they knew that that's what would, protect America's borders?
Okay.
But they brought it up when it could be used as an election thing. Now, back to your rebuttal to my rebuttal, sir. You mentioned the fact that Trump does not know anything about tariffs. Sir, I will say you are wrong. You are absolutely wrong, sir. Trump is an international businessman. He has businesses in China, in Russia. He has businesses in America. He has businesses in Scotland, in England, all over the world. So if anybody knows about tariffs and running a business, it is President Donald Trump. So I don't know why you would say that Trump knows nothing about tariffs. That is completely wrong. The fact of the matter, and you are correct in that sense, that when you increase tariffs, the citizens end up paying for it. But it also affects the country that is importing those goods into the country, because it limits their ability to flood the country with the goods if the tariffs are high. The goods will become more expensive, of course. But that means that you will now have to look inward and ginger up your own manufacturing base. I mean, America was a manufacturing economy until the Democrats ruined it all by saying that we should, when Bill Clinton brought China into the WTO, into the UN, and China took over manufacturing for everybody. And now China is almost in a position to tank America's economy if it wants to. Well, they are not there yet. But the thing is that having a situation where China can export goods into America willy-nilly, and America can ship goods to China, it's difficult, there are tariffs, is wrong. And when Trump talked about introducing tariffs, the tariffs were designed to balance the trade between America and the US and China. It wasn't meant to punish anybody. It is just meant to balance the trade, because right now the trade is lopsided. China is just dumping stuff in America, and America is hardly shipping anything to China. That is the problem he's trying to address.
Okay.
So can we do something? Can we have like an open forum? I see some people that are in the studio, so I don't know if they want to come in to say something. So with your permission, is it okay to quickly have an open forum if somebody want to say something? I see some people that just came to the studio. Maybe they have an opinion to talk. Should we bring them in with your permission? I don't know.
I have nothing against it. Pastor Samari, what do you think, sir?
Type in their comment. So I don't know if Kaya, I see a Kaya, do you want to come up to the studio? I see that they entered the studio. So let me bring them up real quick if they have anything to say regarding what we're talking about. All right, let me bring them up real quick. All right, Mr. Kaya, how are you? Can you hear us?
How are y'all? Can y'all hear me?
Yes, we can hear you. Do you have anything going on?
All right. So let me start by this. I'm an immigrant myself. I came here legally through the border. But what I want to ask this gentleman is this. When you talk about illegal immigration, I want you to define that, because does illegal immigration only mean people who come illegally through the border? One thing is this, there are more illegal immigrants in this country who came here through the border legally, and it's called visa overstays.
Yeah.
So unless you came here on a green card, at one point you were illegal. Period. And that is not a lie. If you came here as a student, as a F1 student, you made a promise to the embassy in your country that you will come here, study, and go back to your country. So when you stayed here to get that green card, to marry or to whatever you did to get that green card, was that not illegal from the jump? That is my first question. So when we talk about this all illegally, man, listen, you just attacking Mexicans. Let's just keep it 100. You don't like, because right now you know there's a saying in I'm from Kenya. There's a saying in Kiswahili.
You're
It says
from where?
nyani.
Kenya.
I'm from
Kenya.
Kenya. It says nyani haoni kundule. An ape looks at another ape and laughs at its red butt. That is the
Moderator, I would want
translation.
you to ask your
No,
people
no,
not to
sir,
hold
sir, hold
insult,
on, hold
because
on, sir, hold on,
insult
hold
is
on.
not what I will
You've been
stand for.
but
My
sir,
friend, you have no
you've
rights
been
to insult me. Make your point and make your point. We have been having a civil discussion. If you want to come in and contribute, then contribute. Don't insult anybody.
Yeah, we
You are
want to
I
illegal
am
immigrant. I can see why you are passionate about it, because you
sir,
are illegal. You run
I
through
did
the
not
border.
insult
That's
I
fine.
did not
I
insult
don't have
anybody.
anything against
I
you
did
for
not
running through the
listen,
border.
man.
But the thing is that keep your comments civil. If you
Civil.
don't keep your
Okay.
comments civil,
All right.
nobody will
All right.
respond to you.
Okay. All right.
All
All right.
right.
Now listen.
Understand?
Yeah,
Now
please
listen.
just ask your question
I
in a
just
very do not.
yes,
Exactly.
I
Ask your question
just
and
say
let's get on with it.
I just said a Swahili saying, and I say the direct translation. So I did not insult anyone. I did not call you any names. But you know what? If the cap fits, please wear it. You see what I mean? I did not insult anybody. And the rest of the audience, please, if I did anything wrong, fact
Yes,
check me
of
right
course,
now.
because they agree
If I
with
can,
with the point that you are making. But when you talk about ape calling an ape or laughing at an ape or something, that is an insult.
no.
If
But
you're not
sir,
smart enough, that is what they
but
call
sir,
a
but
vague
sir,
or a couch insult.
okay,
That is when you
okay.
throw an insult, but
So listen,
you cover it
what
so
you
that it
doing,
does not seem to be an insult.
what you doing
Pastor
right
Sacho,
now
let's
is
ask
called
Mr. Kaya.
filibustering.
Excuse me, sir.
You are
Excuse me, moderator.
you are
Moderator. It
filibustering my
seems
point.
if you are going to allow
You
this sort
spoke
of
for
thing,
30
I am
minutes,
going to
nobody
log off.
stopped you.
No,
I'm
no,
going
You
to
spoke
log
for
off because
30
okay,
minutes,
I'm not
nobody
putting up with
stopped
hold
you.
this.
on. Mr.
I'm
Kaya,
so sorry, but
Kaya.
I'm not up for this sort of thing.
Pastor
Because you
Sacho,
see, this is what Democrats always do. When they
Can I
cannot
finish?
come up with an argument, they come up with insults. They come up with personal attacks and personal insults, and that is
Okay.
not
before
going to help anybody.
yeah, Pastor Forte, before I, take you off the stage, what is the specific question so that we can just
Okay. So
because I
my
wanted it to be an open forum. So what is your
yes,
specific question?
yes. No, listen. And first of all, to the forum and to everybody who is on the screen and who is not, anybody who is listening, if I came off, like insulting, I apologize. I would just like to explain myself and then I will ask my question, please. Now, what I was saying is this. I did not call anybody a ape. I just said a Swahili saying, and I wanted to say what it meant in line with what I am trying to say. What I'm trying to say is this. And please, this is not meant to anybody. So I'm just put an open mind. What I'm saying is this: you cannot come here as an immigrant, go through what you went through to get legal, and then call other people illegal and all that. All I'm just saying is this: right now there are people.
Who says I cannot? I'm sorry. Who says I cannot? By whose law? You said I cannot come here and go through what I went through and call other people immigrants. Who says I cannot?
Just making it.
Sir,
all right.
It's the same law that you are trying to refer when you're trying to say people cannot come here illegally. Which law are you
I
referring
did not say people cannot come. You can't put words in my mouth, sir. I did not say people cannot come here illegally. Please make your point. You are delaying us. Make your point and let's get on with it.
My point is this. My point is this. My point is this. My point is this. My point is anybody who is here right now who did not come on a green card at one point was illegal. Period. That is my point.
I understand his point. Mr. Fortune, it's not trying to attack any of our guests here, of course.
I'm not.
Right? I understand what he's saying, that at one point, the people that were illegal, that were able to get the green card through
yes, through means. And listen, and I went through that process. When I went through that process, there is a fine you have to pay to put you back on status. When you are out of status, you are illegal. So now when you're talking about Democrats don't like this, Republicans like this, do you mean everybody across the board, even people who are here who have overstayed their visas? Because those are the majority of the illegals in this country. It is not the people who come across the border. It's the people who came through the border.
That is not true. That is not true.
All right, Mr. Kaya, Brian, let me
We
remove
have
it now
had
and let me
millions of
respond to
people,
what you've said. You
actually
made a point.
millions. Okay, let me respond to your question, to your state, to your. I don't know if it's a statement or a question. I don't know how to put it, but let me respond. One, it is very, very false to say that overstayed visas are the majority of illegal immigrants in this country. That is a categorically false statement. In the past 1 week, the people that have crossed the border in the past 1 week, I'm sure it's more than the visa overstays we have in this country, because you have them coming through in the millions. We have had caravans that stretched for miles, trooping across the border. Now, I have nothing against people coming into this country legally. But if you come in legally and you regularize your stay, fine, good and well for you. I did not even address your situation where you came in through the border and then regularize your stay. Then you have become legal. You are not an illegal immigrant anymore. We're talking about, when I talk about illegal immigration, at least for me, I'm talking about those people that are running through the borders right now. All those gang members that are running through the borders right now and committing crimes. We've had a new name for crime for gangs in this country now, Tren de Aragua, which did not exist 2-3 years ago, all because of the open border. So you can't come here and start telling me that I'm calling everybody who got into this country and then regularize their stay illegal. No, you're just saying that to try to make yourself feel better about your situation. And that is not what we are saying. That's not what I'm saying. What we're talking about are people who are at the border, running through the border and getting into the country and doing all sorts of illegal things. So that's that about that. Number two, one observation I wanted to make is this. This woman that the Democrat Party has foisted on America, that we want to vote for as president. God help this country. God help America. This is the same woman who a few weeks back was saying that Biden is strong, he is fit, he is able, he is this, he is that. Now, Biden was shoved aside and she was used to replace Biden.
Okay.
And the Democrat Party falls into lockstep with it.
Okay.
And well, they say that if the president is no longer functional, he should be replaced with his vice. Then why not remove Biden as president completely, so that we know that Kamala Harris is president and she's also the Democrat nominee? But not one person voted for Kamala Harris to be the presidential nominee of the Democrat Party. But Democrats are treating her as if she's the sweetest thing since sliced bread, since she was inaugurated by the Democrat Party. That tells you one thing about Democrats generally. What is good for the party, boom, is good for everyone, whether you like it or not. I mean, this is a woman who was rejected at the primaries, at the presidential primaries, by Democrats.
What year?
But now we pretend as if she is the best material that we have. The woman can't even make one straight sentence. Anytime she talks around in circles. Is that the kind of woman that we are going to put against Xi Jinping, against Putin in international negotiations? Kamala Harris, what will she go and do? She'll go there and start cackling like she does all the time, laughing at herself.
Okay.
It's amazing what the Democrat Party is trying to do to this country.
All right, sir. If you don't mind, I have one person again that wants to come to the stage. Please, if you want to come to the stage, we know that we love the open forum. Please ask your question and direct it to one of the guests, if it's Pastor Samari or Pastor Fortune. Who are you? Or if it's just a contribution, if it's not a question, it's also welcome.
Moderator, Madam Moderator, if you don't mind, before you bring the person in, let me just, because there are a lot of things, cracking me up here that I just feel I need to respond to before you bring the person in. Couple of things you said, sir. Again, immigration, nobody says the borders should be open. But this is just a Republican talking point. And like I said, I want us to talk facts, that can be fact-checked. Okay, that is one. Who did you say? You said Trump knew nothing about Project 25?
Is there anybody in America that knows nothing about Project 25?
The author of Project 25 is Trump's campaign advisor. He didn't come from anywhere. Stephen Miller served with Trump. He is part of them. I can name a host of people who either are current or immediate past people that supported or advised or worked for Trump that drafted Project 25. Now,
Not
if Trump lifted anything from there or referred to anything from there, yes. He will say, "Oh, I love it," then he will pull back. See, my problem is not with Republican, and I've said that. There are good Republicans, but my issue is with the MAGA Republican because they
like me.
Sorry?
Like me. I'm a MAGA Republican, sir.
Okay,
so you
if
have
you're a MAGA Republican, then that is where the issue is. See, the policies, and I'm glad you said some things that are things that Democrats hear, and they are lies that Democrats hear, and they just peddle those lies. But the thing is, whatever we say, we have to be able to real time fact check it. If you say Democrats are pushing lies, and you can't say one single lie that they have pushed. Okay, so let me just go down quickly so that because of time.
I gave you several, sir. Unless you are willfully ignoring them. I gave you several lies that Democrats are pushing. Do you want me to start naming them? I can actually name 10 lies that the media is pushing on Democrats, sir. No, it is wrong for you to say I couldn't name one because I've been naming them since.
Give me two.
One, Democrats obfuscate issues. They call illegal immigration immigration. That is a lie. Two.
Okay, so let me answer that. They call illegal immigration immigration. They
that is a lie.
pass a law that will solve the issue. You killed it.
No, sir, that is not true. That's not true. Sir. Because the issue could have been solved easily.
Why
without that new bill? That new bill was designed to grant amnesty to illegal immigrants. It was designed to grant amnesty. It was designed to grant general amnesty, which Republicans don't agree with. I don't have a problem with that, honestly. Frankly, I don't have a problem with that because if you are here already and they grant you amnesty, all well and good.
So why was it killed?
Because the Republican Party is against it. I personally, I am not against it.
Throw away the baby and the water.
But that was the issue. That was the issue was the fact that it was granting amnesty to everybody. Not just it wasn't just a matter of hiring more judges and more patrols. No. It wasn't a matter of strengthening America's border patrol people.
That was the essence of the bill.
No.
It was drafted by
No,
the Republicans.
it wasn't. Because the border patrol is sufficient to keep the border safe right now.
And people can fact check me. You remember during Biden's State of the Union address, the camera focused on what is it, this senator's name, who drafted the bill. He was shaking his head. No, it's a lie. This is what the bill was supposed to be good. But the Republicans killed it. They killed it. So if you can't say we are doing, but now you say
tell me, was that bill a bipartisan bill?
It was a partisan bill. Actually, the major authors were Republicans.
The major authors were Republicans?
Oh, Google it.
I'm hearing that for the first time, sir. And who are these major authors?
It is what is his name from? I'll look for the name now and tell you his name. He's a Republican. He's a Republican.
Honestly, I don't know the names of the authors of that bill, but that bill couldn't have been drafted by Republicans and then killed by Republicans. It doesn't make sense, sir. If Republicans drafted it, they would have drafted a bill that would be favorable to Republican policies. They won't draft a bill that they will now end up killing. It doesn't make sense. I don't know if I'm.
Let's take a quick break. Let's bring somebody to the stage. Let us hear what they want to say. Is it a question? Is it a comment? You know, this is your show. I'm just listening to everybody and enjoying this whole thing. All right, I'm gonna bring to the stage.
Okay,
All right.
Can we get beyond the whole immigration thing at this point? I want to talk about other things.
Stage,
Okay.
do you have anything that you want to say right now?
Yes.
Mr.
One thing I want to, sorry, let's add. Okay.
Good evening, Pastor. How are you today?
Good evening.
Good.
Well,
very
good. Thank you. Good evening, sir. Thank you for joining us.
Thank you. I'm glad that everybody here is from Nigeria. So I want to say that it looks like I'm very, very disappointed. I live in Pennsylvania, where the power really lies. Okay. I want to ask you a question, Pastor Fortune. Am I right with that name?
Yes.
Yeah, that's correct.
Good. As a pastor, will you pray that your son or you, anybody related to you, should be like Donald Trump? Will you ever pray such a prayer? Is it that yes or no? That anybody very close to you should be like that man who wants to lead you. He should be.
Okay.
If you can accept.
Who wants to lead us? He has led this country for 4 years, and you didn't die.
No,
your sons
answer
didn't
my
die.
question. You guys
So,
know how to ask question. Will you ever?
Okay. Let me address your question, sir. Let me address your question. I was part of. I was member of an organization.
Wait, hold on, Pastor.
But you asked your question, sir.
I said, will you? Because I will say amen to it. It's a simple question because the people I have here in Pennsylvania, I am a Republican. Okay? The people I have here, this is the simple question I asked them, and they now realize that, come on, this is a simple question. I want to be like Jesus. Do you want to be like Jesus? You will not hesitate. You will say yes. And that is why we say we are Christian. You know, Jesus is not a Christian. God is not a Christian. It is pagan that gave us the word Christianity. You know that very well. So the simple question.
Oh, sir, please get to your point.
So my point is that will you be willing to say, I want my son, I want even myself to be like Donald Trump? Simple. That is my question. Is it a yes or no?
The answer is a categorical yes.
Okay.
A successful businessman, a successful politician, he defeated the so-called smartest woman in the world. Why wouldn't I want my son to be like him? I want my sons to be successful. I want my sons to be able to run for US presidency. I don't want my sons to listen to the media and then go run with what the media says and then don't think for themselves. And I want my sons to be able to listen to discuss politics and not make it personal.
Okay.
I don't want my sons to be like you. I want my son to be like Trump. If I'm discussing politics, I'll discuss politics. I won't address the person and say, do you want your son to be like, what has my son got to do with it? Hey, let me speak. My son has nothing to do with it. You came in here and you are supposed to discuss. You see, this is the problem I have with Democrats. They are so passionate about what they believe. They are so wrong and in their passion that they cannot make a point without. Pastor Somari has been making points without going personal since. But you two people that have been asked to come in and ask questions, all you do is you want to attack me personally. Listen to yourself. Listen to yourself, sir. You came in here and you are trying to attack me personally.
Let's do this. Mr. Shashe, he has answered your question.
Who came in here?
I have answered your question. I have answered your. Do you have another question? Hello, sir. Do you have another question?
Okay.
Do you have another question?
I have another one.
If you don't have another question, let us continue with this discussion.
Then I will bring you back.
This is the second person who is on this line, and look at the approach you are giving.
All right, sir. So
what approach?
Civil, yeah.
All right, sir. Okay. So it's okay. I think I'm so scared to bring people up right now. So if we have any questions,
let us send the question.
Let them send it by text.
just put it in the comment section. I think I'm so scared to bring people right now. So if there is any question, just leave it in the comment section. And you know, very soon we're going to wrap up this whole episode, and this is the forum for us to be able to talk freely. You know, whoever God has in plan is going to win and is going to rule. Is it Harris? Is it Trump? Whoever it is that God has already predestined to lead the nation right is going to win. But it's just a forum for us to express, when Pastor Somari told me that let's have something, with like this. I said, okay, why not? You know, so we want to make it that it's not a fighting forum. It doesn't matter what we say here. Whoever is gonna win is gonna win. You know, we are just expressing ourselves. You know, especially most of us as immigrants. You know, we just want to say the things that matters to us. So please, let's not turn it to a banter or to, you know, let's not to be sensitive or too touchy about it. We're just, you know, freely expressing ourselves. All right. There is a question here that says, my question specifically for Pastor Fortune is, why is Pastor Fortune getting all the questions? It looks like all these Democrats already. Pastor Fortune. Okay. Republican. My husband is Republican. Republicans are not seeing you guys now. I'm not seeing you. What is your own question? Let's direct it to Pastor Samorito to answer some tough questions, because it looks as if everybody is like, Pastor Fortune is the goal of. I don't know. But anyway, he says, my question specifically for Pastor Fortune is, which specific campaign promises has Trump made to the Black community in this election? Don't give me past tense. So like, this election coming on, what specifically has Trump promised the Black community in this election? You know how they have propagandas and agendas.
Yeah. Well, I don't think he has made a specific promise to the Black community. But to buttress that point, I will borrow from someone I don't quite agree with, and that is Barack Obama. When Barack Obama was asked a similar question, he said his response was he is not coming in to be the president of Black America or white America or blue America. He said he's coming in to be the president of the United States of America. And he got, I mean, the applause was awesome. So Trump is coming in to be president of America, and everything he does will affect the Black community, the blue community, the white community. It will affect everyone positively. And that's what he will do for the Black community. I can't go beyond that because I don't know if it's specific. And you see, you can't come in with a campaign saying that I will do this for Black people. If you say you will do this for Black people, then white people will say, what about us? Are you coming in as president of Black people? So there's no specific agenda item that I can point to and say Trump is going to do this for Black people. And it would be racist for him to even do that. I don't know if I've answered the question. That's how I feel.
I'm laughing because, well, Trump is the one that said, I have done for Black people more than any other person has done for them. I've done for Puerto Ricans more than any other person has done for them. And now you're saying he has nothing. Well, let me tell you what Kamala has. And not just for Black, but for everybody. You are
taking my point. You are quoting my point after laughing at it. First of all, that's funny. You just laughed at my point and now you want to use it. That's funny, sir.
I was just telling you that.
No, you can't talk from both sides of the mouth. You just said what I thought, and you now want to say the same thing. Come on now, let's be honest.
Kamala has told you, because he realized that there is serious marginalization between those who owns businesses and who owns homes. The Blacks and the brown colored people are highly marginalized. That is why he said, for them, number one, I am going to create a home ownership program that not only will I just say home ownership program, but will give first-time home buyers money towards becoming home. And we all know, we can all agree that...
I'm sorry, I have to interrupt at this point. Okay. Kamala Harris did not say that to the Black community. She said that to the United States of America.
To you that, yeah, she may not say...
No, I know you don't have to explain to me. I know what you're saying. Don't push it back. Kamala Harris said there will be a $25,000 credit to first-time home buyers. She did not say first-time Black or first-time Hispanic home buyers. So why are you bringing that up, sir? So this person asked a question that is based on race.
Black, yes, I agree with it.
So address the question as it is, sir.
Directed to Black community.
The Black community or the white community, we know that the Blacks are in the lower triangle or what you want to call it of the scale. So it does not okay, black community, okay, let's say he did not say anything, because if you were to say that, they will say black, like you said. Okay, let's agree on one thing, that okay, she did not say particularly black community, but we know that the connotation of what she's trying to do is really to help the black and brown. So I'll tell you that.
I disagree.
Okay, we can agree to disagree on that.
To get all Americans to vote for her. She's throwing money out to get Americans to vote for her. Because if I were to be a first-time home buyer and I'm white, that might make me change my vote. 25K, that's a lot of money. It would affect the blacks, the whites, the green, and the blue.
Okay.
So I don't agree with that point.
You think that is making, I mean, that putting that up is trying to buy vote from Americans?
No, she's trying to appeal to Americans generally. It's not about buying votes. Some people might put it that way, but I'm not putting it that way, because it's a good incentive, actually speaking. It's a good incentive
let's agree to disagree on that. I mean, let's agree on that one point. We agree on that one point. That is not just, so whoever is the president should actually seek to be the president for everybody.
USA, exactly.
For a certain race. I am also with that, and I'm 100% behind Obama on that, and behind any president that will propose that.
Although Obama didn't do jack for the black community, though.
We have agreed. Let's leave that. Let's leave that. I just told you what this man is going to do now. You said let's not talk about it. So we have agreed, and this is Trump and Harris now. So let's see what do they have.
Yes, because I'm not even understanding this question. Otumba, you said, Otumba Elias, what would be your opinion if the election was against Obama? How did Obama come in here? So I don't understand that question. Otumba, if you want to retype that question, I'm not sure, or if any of our guests understood what the question was. So I'm not sure what that question is. Let us see. All right, guys, it's been a great moment here. We've seen this hot debate. You know, I'm just here as the host to start the whole thing. Our guest has been doing amazingly well, and they've been doing wonderfully well to state what they believe in and what they stand for, you know. And
there's one thing I want to also say, Madam Moderator. You know, I see question about economy here. Let's go back to that economy for a bit. You know, Republicans, they're always saying, oh, Democrats, oh, Biden killed the economy. Oh, now he killed the energy. Fuel is more expensive. This and that. Mr. Pastor Fortune, will you agree on this forum with me that America today is actually a net exporter of oil? It's a question to you.
Net exporter, I don't know about that. I don't think so. I don't know about that. I'll be honest. I don't think so, but I don't know.
Yes, we are. And you can check. So what Biden has done in his reign as the president is not something for just Democrat for this. The thing is, the Republicans are good at, you know, having and reiterating their talking points and driving that, whether it's right or wrong. And we've always, you know, used that to say, oh, the liberal media. No, leave the media. Do your fact checking before you vote. Now I'm talking to the listeners now. Go and fact check things before you vote. These issues, they matter. At the end of the day, they will affect your pocketbooks. These are economic issues. So today, America is a net exporter. And what Biden has put on the ground, we will be net exporter till 1950. So that way it will keep the economy going. And at the same time, we want to do that, but at the same time, we want to reduce the economic effect of oil on our environment. But
There we go. I was waiting for you to bring that up, sir.
Environment, and they don't let us. No.
Okay. So can I give my own roundup as well,
Yes.
Mrs. Moderator?
Yes, sir. Go ahead, sir.
Okay, thank you very much. To address a couple of things that Pastor Somari mentioned. One, like I said, I don't know whether America is a net exporter of oil or not, but the price at the pump tells you that we shouldn't be exporting oil. If gas is so expensive and we're exporting it, it doesn't make sense. One. Secondly, how are we a next exporter when one of Biden's first actions when he came in was to cancel the Keystone Pipeline project, which was supposed to drive down the cost of gas? Secondly, drill, baby, drill has been a Republican mantra for quite a while now. And that is because as soon as Democrats came in, they canceled everything. Fracking, drilling, they declared everywhere government land. They want to protect the environment. And that's another thing. Democrats care more about the environment than they care about human beings. Now, coming back to Kamala Harris, she went to a couple of states the other day to go and campaign. And what was her campaign based on? The point that she was taking to the people was abortion.
Okay.
I mean, it boggles my mind that somebody will mount a political campaign to be president of America by reducing a woman to her body parts. That is what her administration is going to present, about the right to abort. Then they will want to buttress that point by saying that Republicans are trying to control how a woman's use of her body, which they know is not true. And we know that the Democrat Party they are experts. They are consummate experts at, renaming and falsely naming issues. Like they will call abortion, what do you call it now? Reproductive care. They will call LGBT slicing people's body parts to change their sexes. They call it gender affirming care. Now, is that the kind of party we want controlling this country? And Kamala is highly pro-LGBTQ. I don't want to go too much into that, but a party that wants boys to use the same bathroom with my daughters, I will not vote for.
Okay.
Now look at on the international scene. The Middle East is on fire.
Okay.
When Trump was president, peace was breaking out everywhere. All the people that were enemies to Israel began to make peace with Israel. As soon as Biden took over, they are all declaring war with Israel. Right now, we have a major conflagration in the Middle East. We have the Houthis and the what's the name of these groups now? I've forgotten. Lobbing missiles at Israel constantly. And then we have Israel and Iran going at it with each other.
Mm-hmm.
They are on the verge of declaring outright war with each other right now.
Okay.
And then let's go to Russia and Ukraine. Something that should never have happened if we had good American leadership.
Okay.
And you mentioned some time ago about the fact that the world economy was on edge over something. Yes, America's decisions affect the world. But in this case, we want to say, no, it wasn't America that caused it. It's not America's issues. It is Biden is directly responsible for what's happening in the Middle East. He's responsible for the war between Russia and Ukraine right now, and all other conflagrations that are going on all over the place. That tells you how Democrats lead. Obama started it when he said, we will lead from behind. I don't know how you can lead anything from behind. That's what Biden was trying to do. He was leaving things to NATO and to Europe, people who are so feckless that they can't do anything on their own except the US steps in. Now, look at the legacy that they are giving to the world. War all over the place. Do we want this to continue for another 4 years? I want the audience to think about it. Do we want this to continue for another 4 years? Look at China. China is at the point now where they are challenging America because they know that they have grown. They know how weak America's leadership is right now. And they are on the verge. They are challenging us to the point where soon, well, we pray it doesn't happen, but soon they might be attacking Taiwan and the US will have to get involved. We need strong leadership in America. Kamala Harris is the weakest kind of leader you will have. She cannot negotiate with Putin or Xi Jinping or any other leader anywhere. She's not the type of person we want as the president of this country. But we all know Donald Trump. You might not like Donald Trump personally because he runs his mouth, because he makes fun of handicapped people. I mean, a lot of people say he was making fun of a handicapped man. Think about the man's policies. Think about the things he does or the things he did when he was president, and leave his personality alone. Like that man was asking me, do you want your son to be like Donald Trump, or do you want your daughter to be like Donald Trump? What's that? That's none of my business. I care for the man as president of the USA. His personal issues are perfectly none of my business. I'm not voting him in as my pastor or as my godfather or as my moral leader. I'm voting him in as the president of the USA to take care of the USA economically, politically, and well, to an extent, morally, in the sense that he is not LGBTQ, he is not pro-LGBTQ like every other Democrat is. Thank you very much.
All right,
Thank
sir.
you, sir.
We should now be doing our final closing statement.
I have to rebuttal this before we close. Please let me rebuttal. Let me give him a rebuttal on these things he just said before we give our closing statement, please. Couple of things. LGBTQ. Okay, I'll take them one by one. I hope I'm able to remember them in order. And then whether Kamala is strong or not. Listen. And then you talked about abortion. So no party will be perfect. I am a pastor, and I don't necessarily agree with LGBTQ, but that is an issue. Now, abortion. I am a pastor. I'm not going to say people should go and be aborting children all the way. But I remember in the last go around, the only reason why people did not vote Bernie Sanders in was because Republicans called him a socialist. That, it's going to be a government takeover. I remember having this debate with you, Pastor Fortune. And it was, it's going to be a Republican takeover. When you go beyond saying that a woman who was raped should be forced to carry that baby to term and give birth to that baby, that would give that woman everlasting pain. I mean, come on, that is not good. Or a woman whose life is at stake. We've had issues where women died because the state refused to allow them to evacuate a problematic pregnancy. And you say, because of, listen, I'm a Christian, and to be honest with you, Jesus himself was more against hypocrites than he ate with harlots and eventually brought them over. So I think we should have an inclusive thing and not just say because we are Christian, let's go and kill all of those people. So let me just say that in a nutshell about abortion and LGBTQ. Now let's go about strength. Whether Kamala Harris, Kamala is the weakest person that can rule this nation. Do you remember, or did you know, are you aware that Kamala took on the big banks in this country and made them to pay billions of dollars to homeowners in California? Are you aware that Kamala took on the drug and human traffickers and dealt with them and brought them to books? You say she's weak? Kamala is not weak. Now, you said there is war all over the place. Let me tell you, sir, Biden's policies did not bring about the war. It was Trump's policy. In fact, Trump put all of these things in place. When Obama was president and Iran had issues, they decided to work with them, sitting down on the table, creating policies that will tame Iran. Trump came and threw those policies away. that emboldened Iran, and Iran began to work. They began to arm the Houthis. They began to arm Hezbollah. They began to arm Hamas, knowing that Trump has said he was going to dissolve NATO, the most powerful military alliance. So all these things went into being because they knew Trump was going to, they knew what Trump has said, his rhetoric, and what he emboldened them. He encouraged them to go ahead. And so the fact that the world is where it is now is because of Trump, and they are all praying and believing now that Trump will come to power. So that if Trump had been there, when Trump was there, when these Ukraine issues were starting, what did he do? Wasn't he impeached because of Ukraine? And what were those? Are those not signs to Ukraine, to Russia, that it's okay, you can do it and I'll turn a blind eye? So you can't say, oh, the world is going to be where it is. The world is where it is now because of Trump's rhetoric and what he has done. And I'm not saying this as just because I want something to say. It is a fact. It's based on his actions and the things he has done that has brought us to where we are now. If you allow somebody that says he admires dictators and he is encouraging dictators, you allow him in power again, there will be dictatorship all over the world. And in fact, we will go back to when we have kingdoms and kings, one kingdom taking over another kingdom. And that is what was Putin not in Ukraine, in Crimea, when Trump was president. What did he do? Was that war not going on at that time? What did he do? Did he encourage it to stop? Or did he withhold ammunition from Ukraine so that they will be weakened, so that Putin can take over? And then you have other people now trying to come up now. We are where we are now because of the effect of his policies. That's why we are where we are. So I don't know if I left any other thing that you said that I have not mentioned. But these are Trump's cooking. He started it, and his rhetoric now is actually building many more. When he comes in, you're saying if China will not move, already he wanted to fight with China. With the way he was talking to China and all of that. If he were the president now, I'm sure he would have gone to war with China.
Wow. Thank you so much, sir, for passionately expressing your opinion, And I want to say thank you for everyone that has joined us this evening, everyone that has joined to listen, And the only thing I can say as one person is vote your conscience. Vote the person that you think appeals to your conscience. We can't have two leaders. It's going to be either one of them, either one or the other, So make sure on Tuesday that you go out and vote if you have not, voted already. So I want to say thank you to our guest, Pastor Samori. Thank you very much. Thank you, Pastor Fortune. Thank you very much. Thank you for coming on this forum. So, there is no, the good thing, there is no winner. There is no one that won against, it's just an expression of how each individual has felt about, each candidate and the party they represent, And I want to say thank you very much, Pastor Fortune. Oh, okay. Yeah, Pastor Fortune says his phone died. No problem. But thank you, because you have really passionately been present and to be able to talk about the things that matters to your heart. So everyone, we don't want to take your time further. I want to say thank you for joining us this evening, particularly those that have been so active, putting the questions out, people that have come on board to express themselves. Yeah, sorry, some people are in the studio, but I can't bring anyone in no more because we want to make sure that, there is sanity, So that's why we say, let's use the chat room. So I wouldn't be able to bring anyone in the studio, and I'm so sorry about that. And anyways, we are at the end right now. If there is no last question, they both have done their closing statement, and they have been able to express what they stand for and what they believe in. So if there is no other last question right now. From me here, I'm saying thank you very much for making it a day with us. And specifically, Pastor Samori, I want to say thank you again for bringing this to my notification for us to have a moment of words, for us to talk about the things that we care about, Thank you very much for observing that and bringing that to my notice. Anyways, I felt like we shouldn't end, but I know people have to go back and, get prepared for tomorrow and do something else for the family. So right now, I would say thank you for joining. And it's about time we close the broadcast. Thank you very, very much. Pastor Fortune, I appreciate you. Thank you. Thank you very much. And thank you, everyone that has been in the comment section. I cannot thank you enough because we cannot do this by ourselves. You made it more fun by joining. Anyways, this is not the end of it. Make sure you go ahead and share this. People can still go back and rewatch and, skip to the part they want to hear. So make sure you share, and peradventure you're not subscribed to my channel. Yes, let this be a moment for you to please consider to press that subscribe button. It's free of charge, Press that subscribe button and join my family. Thank you once again. Bye, Pastor Samori.
Thank you for having me.
All right, everybody. Wow, love to you all. Thank you. And very soon again, we come up with an interesting topic, and we'll be able to hear it out as well. And if anybody have anything in mind that you want us to talk about, please feel free to reach me. When he told me about this agenda, I ran with it immediately. So if you have anything, there is something that you think it's nice we can do, please feel free to reach me. Reach me, realtalkwithbomi@gmail.com. Real Talk with Bomi on Instagram, on Facebook, Real Talk with Bomi. Reach out to me, and definitely we will hear it out. The platform is for us to hear ourselves out. So everybody, thank you. Bye. I love you all. Thank you for joining. On your way out, please remember to subscribe to my channel. Love to you all. Thank you to all my classmates that joined. Thank you, sir. Mr. Olubemi Olusumbo. Thank you very much. Miss Olaide, that's my pharmacy manager. Thank you. Shemfumi, my darling friend. Thank you very much. Otsumba Elias. Thank you. Thank you very, very much. I truly appreciate you. Mr. Akinola Ogudimu. Thank you for participating. Thank you for being very, very active. Yeah, your questions were bum. Yeah, thank you so very much. Let me see who's in the chat again. My husband, Kayode Olatunji. Thank you, sir, for joining. I appreciate you. I'm just looking through the chat. You can keep exiting. I'm looking through my chat to mention name. So I'm just looking through. So if you have left one comment at one point or the other, yeah, that's the only way I can know you are here. Dear Queenie, thank you very much. I know you wanted to come into the studio, but we were not bringing people in. Thank you, Kai Komo. Thank you very much. I appreciate you. If I don't mention your name, I didn't see your comment. I'm just going through the list of names here. Mr. Samuel Mobolaji, thank you very much. Thank you. I appreciate you. Idak Eyoma, thank you very much for joining. My mom, Dr. Adeline Olaoshebikon, thank you so much for joining. Mr. Daniel Samori, thank you for joining. I appreciate every one of you. All right, it's going to be a goodbye and a good night from here over to wherever you are. Bye.